then that means as a customer or a client, you don't care about the process. You care about the result. So now, we've talked about selling to yourself. We've talked about understanding that the greatest positioning of a salesman, or their greatest advantage, is not their ability to speak, but it's their ability to listen. And then the next thing that I want to talk about is, remember, I'm just giving you in snippets. These are classes with a lot of people, and I just give you in snippets what I can give you, okay? I give you in snippets what I can give you, and it's valuable, but I'm just mean that we can't keep on just getting into all of the dynamics of one thing, all right? But at least I can give you what I can give you. So the third one is that you are obsessed with the process. No one cares about the process. They care about the result. The problem that most people have in business is that they are obsessed with the process. And I'll explain exactly what I mean. But the market doesn't care about the process. They care about the result. Let me ask you this question, everybody. How many people here have ever been to the doctor? Have ever been for a doctor's appointment? Maybe it's a consultation or whatever it may be. How many people here? Wonderful. Next question. How many people asked for the doctor's qualification? Never, 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 never. Why? Because you didn't care about the process, you cared about the result. If you had pain, you simply wanted that pain to go away. If you had pain, you simply wanted to know why you have that pain. You simply wanted a fix, right? Imagine to such an extent that some of you have been through surgery. It may have been at giving, when you were giving birth, or it may have been, you needed surgery, right? And Master says, yes, I wanted results. So you allowed someone to take a knife and cut you like this, and you never asked for their qualifications. Imagine, that's the highest level of madness. If you're going to look at it logically, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I have asked a doctor for their qualification. I'm just saying that imagine we allow a doctor to take a knife and cut you like this. In fact, they even tell you that, before I cut you, right? Before I cut you, I'm going to take you, I'm going to put you into a deep sleep. So imagine you're not even aware of what they're doing. They can literally chop you up and put you in a bag. And you're like, no, it's fine. Doctor, this is a doctor. How do you even know that that's a doctor? Or how do you know that that doctor, there's something that happened, maybe their wife or their husband just cheated on them, and they're just looking to, just push out their anger through you? Because it may be a doctor, right? How do you even know that, let's just say that their qualification is on the wall? How do you even know that that's original? And Bridget says, you first sign some paper. Imagine you even go to an extent to say, I'm signing a paper, right? That anything that happens here, it's not the doctor's or the hospital's fault. We will not hold the hospital liable, because there is a risk that something can happen. You even sign the paper. That's how much you're saying that, yeah, these people are okay. If anything happens, no, it happens, but it's not them. So you allow, before you sleep, right? Before you sleep, you can actually see this whole thing. If you've ever seen it in movies or even in real life, you can see this whole tray of different kind of knives. Right? Different kind of knives. And there is not a moment that you say, wait, I need to see your qualification. I need to see if it's certified. I need to call the university to see if they actually gave you that qualification. I also want to know, how long have you been doing this? Imagine you get into a plane. Do you understand that a plane will be 60,000 feet above sea level? And you're like, the pilot. You don't even see the pilot. Let's be honest. Unless you saw him walking around in the airport, but the reality is by the time it gets to the plane, you don't even know if that's the one that you saw in the airport, because there's so many. So you just get in the plane, you just hear some pilot's voice somewhere, and the pilot is just like, good afternoon, we're going to be traveling at 60,000 feet above sea level, and we're going to have a really nice journey, and then you're soothed by that voice. What about if that person is feeling suicidal on that day? Or what if they're not even a pilot? So the idea is, if you are a customer or a client going to a doctor, going to get onto a plane, right? If you're doing all of that, and Precious says, pilot, I don't even get to see him, that's it. Then that means as a customer or a client, you don't care about the process. You care about the result. Doesn't matter how you may want to look at it. You don't care about the process. You care about the result. Now, because the process hurt you so much, this is what you're telling your clients. My guy, I know I can't reduce the price, or I can't do this because, we get these things from Dubai, and then like when they come in, then there is, tax that's put on it. They don't care about the process. So you tell people about your process because it hurt you so much, because you were in school for so long, because, whatever it is that you've built hurt you to build. You think that your advertising or your selling approach should be based on you telling them the pain behind the process. They don't care about that. So if you ask me, why should I buy? You know what? I actually developed this course over 3 weeks. It was really painful. I did all of this. So we really made sure, and we brought people in from different countries that came and reviewed what it is that we had done. And then I don't care, bro. I'm not buying your process. I'm buying my result.